Welcome back to Full Beans. Today, we're talking about Sainz going to Williams, a man named Ben predicts the future, and the boring Grand Prix. Full Beans.
My name is Ozzy. That's David. Frank, you already know. He's in the corner, locked up.
Yep.
And today,
Please like and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications. Share this video. Let's get to
100 likes, 5 comments, and 2 shares. And David personally will shave his beard.
I mean,
Someone else will do it.
you can do it.
Do you want me to do it?
No, you're not gonna fucking.
Okay,
do it.
I'll do it for if we get 200 likes.
Shave what?
Oh, now we're going to shave what?
No. You said shave. You'll shave your beard.
I said you'll shave your beard.
I didn't agree to this.
Okay. David didn't agree to this. Now he's committed to this. How much does your beard mean to you? I mean, come on. It's just hair.
I
Don't
lost.
grow back.
I accidentally cut it the other. You saw me. It was recent.
I honestly noticed no difference.
What do you mean? I recently chopped it off on accident.
When was this?
Like 2 months ago.
I honestly noticed no difference, to be honest.
Well, you were around.
Well,
Shows how much you pay attention to me.
it was probably in your head.
Unbelievable.
You know, it's probably
What
in
do you
your
mean
head.
in my head? I accidentally cut it off.
Okay, how much did you cut off?
Literally, it was like it was almost
What
clean. I think.
number? What number?
Like 1.
A 1?
Yes.
Okay, so 0. Oh, shit. 1 is pretty small.
That was an accident because of my thing. It has a sliding guard,
And you went... vroom.
and I didn't realize I didn't engage the guard. So, whatever the lowest number on that guard is, I went on the stash too.
No.
Dude, so I went and I got the stash, and I look in the mirror like Home Alone, and I was like, dude. And so then I was like, what do I do? So then I took off the rest of the stash, and then I was like, okay, well now this is too long. I look like Khabib from
UFC?
the UFC.
Yeah.
Put up a picture of him here, and then and then the rest, and then he was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I look
what?
like Dwight Schrute's cousin, Mo.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 1 is pretty short, because if I use a 4, I feel like 4, I'm like almost I don't have anything.
I think it was literally like a 1.
Holy moly, might as well just shaved everything off, bro.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you didn't realize.
Yeah, I guess run back the videos to when David was that trimmed up. But besides that, let's go on to
The news.
the news. Driver market news here, and we got a big one. As we know, Carlos Sainz doesn't have a job for next year.
Seatless.
And now there's speculation that he is going to the famous Williams Formula One team. David, give me your thoughts on this before we read more into it. What do you think about Sainz going to Williams?
I don't know. I think it's fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Hype news.
Fake news. Clickbait.
Fake.
It's gonna be our clickbait for this thumbnail.
Yep.
Um,
Okay, let's look into what it says.
you go for it.
All right, let's see here. So, as we know, Williams is now taken over run by now James Vowles. And he recently, I don't know if he said this, but this is practically what his plan is behind it. Williams' poor infrastructure has been brutally exposed this year, but the team boss James Vowles has laid out an ambitious plan to bring the team back to competitiveness. Sainz is believed to be delaying his decision until Red Bull confirms its intentions for 2025. So where I think this is coming up is that James Vowles has shown interest in Carlos Sainz, like I think a lot of F1 teams have.
Yeah, but why would he go to Williams?
Yeah, why would he go to Williams?
Unless
What does he have? Let me bring you back to a famous professor that we have that this came from. He has pulling out tricks out of it. What is this called? Tricks out of his sleeve.
Yeah.
What is it? Up of his sleeve, right? The little tricks. And what do you think it is, Dave? Because I have my theory.
Well, you have a theory. You were talking about it earlier, so I won't take it. I won't take credit for your theory, which I like the theory. I don't know. I mean, he's got to be showing some sort of master plan to bring Williams back to the great team that it can be and it once was.
Yep. As like
under the great, the late great Frank Williams.
R.I.P.
I don't know. I think he can. It'd be really interesting if he had Sainz and Albon looking to be better now than he was at Red Bull when it was a little bit too much car for him. I think at that time. Additionally, racing against Verstappen is no easy task. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'll let you continue with your theory. Put on our tinfoil caps.
Yep.
It is now time for conspiracy theories.
So this theory is brought to you actually by a fellow friend from mine. So if you're watching, you're the one that's brought this up. James Val has an ambitious plan, right? What is this ambitious plan? Is this ambitious plan now Adrian Newey going to Williams?
Ding, ding, ding.
So I mean, if he brings Adrian Newey to Williams, right?
Is Adrian Newey that great?
I don't know, dude. Like he's designed.
Can he be like that's a lot of pressure leaving? Because I'm sure other engineers have left teams that just haven't been out, in the social media and
they don't have the clout.
the news era that is now. There's got to have been engineers that leave teams, at a certain point when they're being successful. Mm-hmm. This is crazy how much coverage this is getting.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's crazy. Like you said, is promising Adrian Newey to go to Williams enough convincing for Sainz to sign to Williams, where Williams has been shown recently that
to be dog shit.
Yep. And not even have parts for both cars.
Doo-doo. Not even have. Oh my God. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, like, for example,
I forgot about that.
They didn't bring an extra chassis.
Logan dirty.
And exactly. They didn't bring an extra chassis for a car, so they had to take out Logan out of his car and put Albon in there. So now James Vowles, if you don't know who James Vowles is, James Vowles came from Mercedes, right? So, I mean, he has that experience of how a championship-winning F1 team should be run.
If they don't got money, there's one man they have to bring in.
Who's that?
Yeah, I think you know who it is. A man that will do anything for his team. A man that will take embarrassing photos in front of tiny boats for his team. Did you ever hear about Haas not having enough money?
No.
No? The man. The rock star.
The legend.
The legendary Gunther Steiner.
Give him a round of applause, dude.
That's the man you need. That's the man that will get Williams back on track.
That's the guy you need for commitment, dude.
Right there.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if he goes in there. David, do you think what's the percentage of what you think in Sainz going to Williams?
I don't know, dude. I wouldn't have even.
Because now
like one of the last teams that I would guess Sainz to go to.
Because now that you look at Red Bull's not looking that strong. Or are they just a little off?
I think it's just some hiccups that were happening.
It's 2 races. I think it's 2 races. We'll see what happens. I
mean, it is Monaco too, so it's kind of insane.
You have a point there, Frankie.
No. I mean, it's Saturday. The race the race is won and lost for the majority on Saturday, and Leclerc being Saturday king. The guy that gets it done on Saturday, Mr. Saturday himself. I don't think Red Bull are losing sleep over this one.
Gotcha.
So we'll see what happens with Red Bull.
I think Sainz has just got to wait it out and see what happens with the Red Bull, right? The Red Bull starts looking super dominant. I think it's an easy case there. You think
Sainz signs a 1-year contract?
To Red Bull?
Well, 1-year period, wherever.
1-year period?
To get to the new reg.
It wouldn't be a bad move, to be honest.
Well, I guess maybe a 2-year. To see who can hit the ground running with the new reg. And then open free market free agent.
Yeah.
In 2027, seeing 1 year with the new reg, seeing how the cars perform, and then having a pick. Because I mean, the thing with Sainz is I don't know why he kind of gets thrown around in the sport.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I haven't really quite understood. I guess maybe in his younger years he did seem he was a little.
Because he was at Red Bull. Red Bull. Toro Rosso, right?
Toro Rosso.
He got cut. Then he went to Renault. And Renault, he got cut. And then he went to McLaren. And then McLaren, he didn't get cut. He actually moved to Ferrari, which was a better move, right?
He moved to Ferrari.
Now he's getting cut from Ferrari.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
and
he does get cut a lot.
He gets booted, and I don't think he deserves these boots that he'd be getting.
No, dude. I think he's underrated. Underrated is the right word for him, dude.
Yeah, currently, I mean, like we've said, I don't know. This is now Leclerc's win this season. Mm-hmm. We were saying Sainz winning proves Ferrari wrong for cutting him.
Yeah.
Is Ferrari now looking like they played the right moves?
So far, it's leaning more towards Leclerc. If we had a meter right here between Sainz or Leclerc, it's now moving more towards the Leclerc side.
I'd have to agree.
So
I'd have to agree. I think for now, I mean, Leclerc has been more consistent, higher placing, winning a race. Maybe he's just a step or two from being like a championship competitor.
Yeah. Well, from one man to another, that's everything.
From one continent to another.
We got Ben. A man named Ben predicts the future.
Who's Ben, you may ask?
Ben is a fellow. What would we call him? Acquaintance.
He's a man that we met in Vegas during the F1 Grand Prix
launch
party a year before the Grand Prix.
So 2022.
2022. We went to the party.
There you go.
We went. We had a good time. There was I guess
concert.
Yeah, there was a concert, but it's not a competition. It was just the first 500 people, quote, 500 people in line get tickets to a Killers concert. We got there. We got in line, waited hours, got the tickets. That was in the morning. We went to the F1 launch party thing. Mm-hmm. Then afterwards, we're in line to get to the concert for the Killers concert. And we meet this man named Ben, older gentleman, drunk off his ass.
Yeah, he's doing what you do in Vegas. Party hard.
He was doing his Vegas thing.
Yeah.
Very personable. We had a nice conversation with him. Mm-hmm. Chill dude, but he wasn't one of the guys that won the tickets, or I guess got the tickets from just waiting in line.
Waiting in the line.
This guy's a high roller,
special pass, VIP.
Yeah, special Caesar's Palace guest, whatever.
Invited or whatever.
So he had like a special
pass.
ticket. Yeah, a ticket. So we started talking to him, and we were trying to butter him up because he sent his wife on a mission to find out if they could get into a better or quicker entrance.
Yeah.
With his pass. And so since we had been conversating for a while, we're trying to butter him up, see if he would sneak us in with him.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like those kind of people, they go, they're coming with me.
Yeah.
Caesar Palace is going to say, okay, sir.
There you go.
Please bring your guests.
We ain't trying
Considering we already had tickets. It's not like we
true.
didn't have tickets. We had tickets, so it was
we just didn't want to wait in line like chumps, So
yeah, but chumps we are, and chumps we remain. And chumps, Ben, you're a chump with us, Ben. Our friend Ben. We had a conversation with him, and he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about what?
No, yeah, keep going, dude. He was telling us about how there was gonna be a race. We were talking about the Las Vegas race, how they were bringing it, right? And then he was saying, "Oh yeah, I think there's gonna be a race in Chicago," and we were like,
"Well, us being informed, semi-informed in the racing world,
yeah,
we knew that there was a race coming to Chicago, but a NASCAR race, not an F1 race. At least we hadn't heard anything at the time." Him being drunk off his ass, we're thinking this guy's confusing NASCAR with F1.
Uh-huh. But wrong we were.
Ben proved us wrong, man.
It looks like now...
We should have bet on Ben.
We should have. It looks like now Chicago is the next city to get an F1 race in their city.
Street course.
Initially, it was planned for New York, but now... It has reported been Chicago is in discussions aiming for a late April to mid-June slot in the calendar. Before or after the Canadian Grand Prix, which makes sense. They're right there next to each other, right?
Closer to each other, yeah.
It would literally. It's just going to be maybe 3 hour, 4 hour long flight. Don't quote me on that.
What I don't understand is why we don't have... You know how, like, at the beginning of the season, we're in Asia and Middle East and not... in Europe, but then as soon as we get to Europe, they're like, "Oh, now the European season starts."
Yeah.
Why don't we have an American or a North American season?
Well, we're aiming towards that now with this. If this race gets added, that we can now have the American F1 season start over here.
North American.
North American.
There's Canada.
there is.
There's Mexico.
I gotta include those guys. So we're adding that one to the grid, and there's still speculation, still in discussion. Nothing has been confirmed, but they're thinking that there's discussions that the Chicago one could possibly replace the Austin circuits of the Americas, which contract ends in 2026.
Boo! Give us more.
Give us more.
Like a greedy American, I want it all. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah. Yeah, if they do that, if they replace Chicago with, if they replace
Austin with Chicago.
Thank you for correcting me.
Anytime.
I think that would not be good.
I don't think it'd be good. I think Austin is a really good track.
It's a really good environment. Everybody has positive things to say about it.
Yeah, other than us almost dying of dehydration.
Not knowing how to
getting
get there.
lost. Getting lost. No, not getting lost. Having no way back to the city.
Paying $100 Ubers.
Getting in some sketchy man's truck.
Oh, yeah. That's
we hitchhiked, essentially.
We did it.
This guy rolls up to us, lowers his window, goes, "Do you guys want to ride?" And we're like...
Let's back up before that. Before we got there, we were walking over, and this man in this van showed us, like, "You guys need a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh." And then I asked him how much, and he said, "100 canicas." Whoever knows what 100 canicas means, I think it means $100. Could be $1. I don't know. But 100 canicas, I've never heard of that.
100 marbles.
100 marbles. But yeah, go back to your story, David. My bad, I interrupted.
Other than that, which... I still probably feel safer than that in Chicago.
Oh my God, I know you're right, dude.
Anyways, but I would go. Hopefully, the track layout is better than the NASCAR layout. NASCAR layout is a little boring. Too many 90-degree turns.
Not enough place to overtake.
Yeah, so hopefully they figure that out. Hopefully NASCAR gets a better race out of it too.
Yeah, it would be exciting to see
it'd be cool if maybe they have another track that they race that F1 and NASCAR race on. Mm-hmm. We have right now Circuit of the Americas, and it's the only one that both race on.
Yeah.
And like I've seen the clip of the Ferrari boys and the NASCAR drivers escaping my memories, where they're discussing their disciplines, and it's an interesting discussion to see, both the perspectives. So it'd be nice to have another point of reference.
Yeah. What do you think of Chicago being like the city they picked out of all the cities in the U.S., Chicago being the city they picked?
I think NASCAR's push definitely gave them a boost.
Gave them into the conversation of having it there.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's a big city. Obviously, it's I don't know, third, fourth most populous city in the United States.
I mean, it would make sense because the U.S. is so big, right? We got Las Vegas in the west. We got Austin in the middle, but then it's south, right? And then we have Miami, which is in the east, but then it's south. So I mean, they are spaced out more evenly, right? Yeah. So now we got Chicago that's up north, which is kind of
Midwest region.
Yeah.
I mean, the Midwest region.
Yeah. So
don't ask me why they call it the Midwest.
I think maybe that also played into contention of why they thinking about Chicago.
Yeah.
So
I think, like you're saying, the Canadian Grand Prix, which is in Toronto. No, Montreal.
Montreal.
That's closer. I believe that's closer to New York than it is Chicago.
Okay.
So I think that's also adding to what you're saying. It spreads it out, right? Because New York, I think, is my geography is correct. I mean, I'm sorry, I had a public school American.
Are you smarter
education?
Than a fifth grade?
I'm probably not, but yeah. So yeah, so I'm saying like it spreads it out. I think it's an interesting spot. Hopefully, it's a good track.
Yeah, as long as it's a good track and there's overtaking.
Windy city.
I don't think
winds could be an issue.
They could be. F1s are prone to sensitive winds and shit. So, I think as long as it has a good track layout and it shows promising of overtaking and good racing, nobody can complain about it. People will show up.
They'll complain though.
People will the F1 race.
They're getting another F1 race.
Don't go Karen on me right now, okay?
It's European Karen.
Okay. What's it called? They'll get their money. Whoever's throwing this, they're gonna get their money, right? They'll charge $2,000 for a freaking hot dog and a G8 ticket. So if that checks off all the boxes, and yeah, I think that's everything I have to say for it, dude.
Let's moving on
to
The race of the day.
the race that's won on Saturday.
The race that is boring on Sunday.
Yeah, boring. Quoted by Verstappen, the Monaco Grand Prix.
The Monaco Grand Prix, one of the most prestigious races on any racing circuit calendar.
The Full Beans were there, not today, not this weekend. They were there last year. Check out our video from last year when we were there. We filmed there on the spot.
On location.
On location right there. Beautiful, sunny day.
Crazy city.
Yeah, super nice. So, yeah, the Monaco Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc getting pole position.
The hometown hero.
The hometown here, right here. Charles Leclerc.
I'm sorry, what's his name?
This is Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc. Finally wins his home Grand Prix.
I think we mentioned last time on our last F1 video his
had the huge
horrible
curse.
luck.
Yeah.
Horrible luck. Ding dong. Ding dong. The curse is gone. He's finally done it.
He's broken the curse.
Third time on pole position. Finally takes it home. And from a race that's really won on pole, it's hard to believe that he's floofed it up twice before.
Yeah, I think
not necessarily his fault, but still, like what we're saying, it's just bad luck for this guy.
He does, and I think when he got pole on Saturday, if you kind of look at him, he didn't look super excited, which I think
I've been there, done that.
Exactly. He was kind of like, okay, I did one step of the job to get me that win. And he looked like, okay, just got to be controlled. It can still go wrong.
What would you think is the percentage? A 70% job done? Pole on Saturday?
Yeah, it has to be, bro. It has to be. Because,
other than if it's a clean race and there's no weird yellows where there was a yellow, but early on, so everyone was, for the most part, still in their starting position other than some movement. Carlos getting knocked out and then reinstated in third, red flag, whatever. Other than that, I think it's a 70% job.
Yeah, for sure. Because even if you've seen the race, Verstappen, when he changed to the new tires and he was up on Russell's butt like really quick, he still couldn't even overtake him. Track position is just king around here. And even if you have the tire advantage here, it's still very, very difficult to pass. And that's why when we mentioned this is the boring Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen says it's boring because there's no overtaking.
Fernando Alonso calling it the biggest week, or what did he say? The biggest weekend in racing until Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no racing on Sunday.
There's no racing.
It's a parade of fast cars around the streets of Monaco.
And what's crazy about this race is like when you're watching it, I feel like, okay, something's going to happen. He's going to get him. But it never comes.
It never comes. The cars are too big for this track.
Mm-hmm.
Should we cut it?
I don't think we should cut it, dude.
I'm just kidding. Now that the thing about this track, though, is we can talk all the shit we want. But when your favorite driver is in first place and you're watching this race, it is the most nerve-wracking. It is the most intense race. It is just undescribable the way that this race makes you feel. That's the beauty of Monaco. There's no racing on Sundays. You can call it boring. You can call it whatever you want. It's one on Sundays. But when your favorite racer, the team that you support, the racer you support is fighting for first, it's unlike any other race on the calendar.
Yeah,
it is insane. Having a couple years ago, watching Checo take the victory was like one of my favorite racing memories of all time.
And it was close.
It was crazy. And then the thing is, watching Leclerc, not necessarily the biggest Leclerc fan, not a hater. I like him, but, watching him in first, I wasn't that nervous.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, Piastri can't pass him because there's nowhere to pass on this freaking track. So it's like he's not going to pass him. But when Leclerc is hunting Checo, I'm at every corner, I'm like, Leclerc's going to pass him. Leclerc's going to pass him. Leclerc's going to pass him.
You feel like he's going to get him. And this is about this track.
That's the track, dude. That's the beauty of this stupid old track that we have.
You feel like overtake's gonna happen, but it just never does. It never comes, right? So you're always on that edge of it.
So should we cut it?
I don't think we should cut it.
Absolutely not. We're not cutting this race.
What's it called? Because we do get. Actually, no, we don't get no racing on Sunday. I was just trying to pull anything. But what we do get is some huge incidents. Lap 1, huge crash.
Big incident.
Big incident with with the Haas's and Leclerc, and that was not the only incident that happened on track. Frankie, pull up the video. The
Incidents on track, incidents off track.
Incidents on the water.
Anyone who, I mean, quickly, Monaco is on the water.
The yacht club.
It's a city beach. It's a city beach. It's a city
on the
beach
coast.
city on the coast.
Yeah.
On the Côte d'Azur. So there's the tradition of the yachts. Hilarious video of Kimi Räikkönen not getting knocked out of the race. DNF crashes. He walks off to his yacht before he doesn't go back to the paddock. He's like, screw this, I'm going to his yacht. Lots of yacht, lots of drinking lots of money. And that happens to cause incidents off track.
So we have this video of this boat crashing. We'll pop it up right here. And we watch this video of this man crashing and almost taking out 2 people on the boardwalk. Is that correct? I'm not
pier.
A pier.
I think. I don't know. And I'm not a boat person. I don't know.
Crazy video, crazy man. Supposedly that something in his boat was set on auto acceleration or something like that.
Yeah, his drunk hand.
Bro, I hope that guy has insurance, because if he does, hopefully he doesn't have Adriana's insurance or something like that.
Coming in, crashing.
Yeah.
Now moving to crashing on track.
Yeah, we have a
big incident in
after
turn 1.5.
Yeah, after turn 1.
They call it turn 1, but it's a straight.
Yeah, so Checo is honestly a bystander. No, he's not a bystander. He's the one he's a victim with Magnussen. Or how did you see the incident happening?
Well, I do think Checo was the fact that he wasn't given the fact that Magnussen wasn't given a penalty, I think was of maybe a little bit of a biased standpoint from us, or me at least. Magnussen comes in where there's little to no space.
No space, dude.
Takes out Checo, takes out his teammate in doing so.
Yeah.
Big crash. Quick shout out to the safety of the car. I mean, Checo's car is absolutely destroyed, but the safety cell is intact. He walks out. All
the cameramen that were right there where they crashed, they're all safe too. So good work to the barricade.
Good to see that the safety is progressing in the sport.
Safety man is doing his job. I know he always doesn't get the most praise.
Everyone hates safety guys.
Everyone hates, the guy's the most annoying guy on the shop floor.
But you need him. Everyone needs them.
Yeah, so
safety first. OSHA, we approve.
We are OSHA approved here. Okay, so huge incident. I think Magnussen not getting a penalty is also crazy to me. I don't know if they called that a racing incident.
I mean, they called it a racing incident. Additionally, that was Magnussen's last strike.
It was.
I forgot about that. It would have been on 10 penalty points. I think it would have been at least 2. Would have sent him to the give him a red card,
to the bench,
accumulation of yellows, and I don't know that you didn't get a penalty. They deemed it a racing incident. I think I could see the argument. I don't know if I agree with the argument, but I think I could see the argument.
Yeah, you can see see how maybe Checo should have left him more space on the right hand side, but then again. They're racing,
but I think Hülkenberg is more. I think Hülkenberg is in his mirrors. Hülkenberg was closer. So he's giving Hülkenberg the space
on the left hand side.
Yeah, on the left hand side. I mean, it's a late move. Lap 1. Everyone's bunched up.
Yeah, and coming from K-Mag, who's an experienced driver,
an experienced bulldozer at times, though.
Yeah. What's it called? Why would he risk that? And he ruins his whole race.
I mean,
I know it's
I
Monaco.
guess the risk is that it's Monaco, and there's no opportunities. George, they were telling George to hold off on chasing Norris, and George is like, there is no other chance after this.
Yeah.
If I don't get him now, I'm not getting him.
Yeah, you're not going to get him anywhere,
and
right?
he didn't get him.
Yeah, not even Verstappen could have got George, and he was on new tires. So, that's Monaco for you.
Is there a chart or anything of showing how many people, places people moved?
I'll give you this. I know this for a fact. The first 10 did not move, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
First 10.
The starting order was the finishing order.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
That just shows you that there's not much. I mean, yeah. like we said, boring race, but it's the history behind it. It's the prestige behind it. It's what it means to the racing world, to the F1 world that makes this race a crazy race.
Talking about what's it called, the history. Ayrton Senna is still most race wins and pole positions in Monaco, and he is now tied with Max Verstappen on the most consecutive poles. And now with Verstappen not getting that pole position, that record cannot be broken until he gets the most consecutives after that, right?
Yeah, so he's got to start over.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a little while before you see that record
Broken.
be broken, right?
Yeah.
I think another thing we learned from this race is that the McLarens looking like no joke. They're looking like the real deal, dude.
Looking like a nice little papaya orange rocket. Like I'll say it again. Yeah. They're looking fast. They're
shooting
hot.
up straight to the top. And
looks like they're finding form just in time. I mean,
yeah.
Ferrari looks taking this win. Frankie, can you please go to the championship standings?
We're still early in the season,
We're still very early in the season.
Anything can happen. I know a lot of people said, and coming into the season, Red Bull was going to win, Verstappen was going to win. Doesn't look like that anymore. It looks like we might have a championship in our hands.
Hopefully, we have a championship race.
It would be exciting to go.
Verstappen with 169 points. Charles Leclerc in second. Moving up into second last race. With 138 points. So 31 points is not one DNF and a win from Leclerc. Another win from Leclerc puts him within 5-6 points.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
That's close. I don't know.
Norris with 113.
Yeah.
The battle for second's a little tighter. Norris 113, Sainz 108, Checo 107, dropping 2 spots this week.
Yeah, he got no
from
points.
Third, no points. Checo, is he keeping the seat?
I mean,
I think it depends on what Red Bull wants.
It does, right?
Do they want someone that's going to give them is going to give Verstappen an actual challenge for the championship?
I mean, it's like what you want, right? Because if you do want someone that's going to be challenging Verstappen, obviously that Red Bull team is going to look dominant, as like really dominant, right? Every single race.
But then you're at the danger of, since they're racing each other, we get another Nico Rosberg season.
So now,
which for the viewers,
that's what we want.
One of the greatest seasons in recent history.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the Lewis Max changing of the guard season.
So it makes Red Bull's job harder because now they got to be picking who to give the best strategy to, right? Because they're racing. They're racing each other. But then again, they'll mostly, like, if they give them an okay car, they'll be able to pull the most performance out of that car, right?
Yeah.
So if they go with Checo and Verstappen, we know now that Checo doesn't. I mean, sadly to know, and it freaking hurts me saying this, he doesn't have the speed to be matching Verstappen, right? Verstappen's just out in a different league. Now that makes Red Bull's job easier in a way where they prioritize Verstappen and give him the best strategy, and Verstappen's able to pull about the most amount of points. But then, if Checo doesn't perform at the level that he needs to, now is the other team's gonna catch up Red Bull, and they could lose that constructor championship.
Yeah, I mean, true. So, do they want to sign someone like I don't know, someone that's not necessarily going to challenge? Maybe Yuki is not a bad choice if they want someone who's not going to challenge Verstappen, but will get that P2, will be at that P3.
And talking about Yuki, I mean, Yuki this year has had a great season, dude. Has looked solid in the points, outperforming his teammate,
severely outperforming
veteran and skilled Daniel Ricciardo, who is no chump. So he's looking Monaco race winner.
Should have been a 2-time Monaco winner.
Yeah, it should have, sadly.
Had not for the pit crew.
But it made the redemption better, right? It made the redemption better. It did. So, I mean, Yuki, I guess it's like what you said. What does Red Bull want?
What does Red Bull want? I think that's really what decides if Checo stays or goes.
Yeah, and that's what we don't know. That's what's being discussed probably behind closed doors. And we don't know, and we're just going to have to wait. So make sure you tune in to Full Beans, like and subscribe and comment, and share so you can see David every week long. Yeah.
I think they want to see Frankie.
And me and Frankie. Okay.
Quickly before we
my
go,
corner.
I think it sounds like you're trying to wrap it up.
No, I'm not.
No?
I'm having a great time here talking about the Monaco Grand Prix.
I think shout out to Piastri, dude. Second year in F1.
Oh, yeah.
And on the podium in Monaco, I mean, he got second and finished second.
And he looked competitive.
He looked like he was on Leclerc's butt.
He was fighting for pole on Saturday. So,
Yeah, so I mean, really impressive from Oscar.
yeah.
Having that Norris took forever to take a win, to look competitive. Although, I mean, the car is much better than what it was when Norris started his career with McLaren. Zach Brown not at the track this week.
Not.
He was at the more important, the older, the more prestigious,
grander,
the greatest racing on this planet. The Indy F1. The Indy 500. That's on our Indy episode.
Coming soon.
Never mind.
Next race.
I lied.
Next race is the Canadian Grand Prix over there with the Maple Leafs.
Canada.
Get your maple syrup ready. Look, that one looks like it is gonna be a better race, so make sure you tune into that one. And that's everything I have. David, Frankie.
I'll bring something up about Yuki.
Oh, here we go.
I don't think he should be in Red Bull. He needs to mature up quite a bit, especially with the way he talks to the engineers and people on the radio. He's too childish. He cannot be in there, especially with the way how competitive he is. But more of like he needs to like try and win and beat people. I don't think that's going to work really well, like a good team between Max and Yuki.
And on that bombshell,
and on that nugget of just what an opinion from Frankie,
which you will get a lot of
soon.
Let's go. He's working on it. And
Yeah.
on that bombshell, Full Beans out.